Welcome to Chamber Check-In. Mike Dvorak, President of the Twin Cities North Chamber of Commerce, your source for virtual networking and all things local business. Check out our website at twincitiesnorth.org. That's twincitiesnorth.org. And a shout out to our friends here at 9 North Media. Thank you for your partnership. We've got a great program for you here today. Got a couple great guests, first of which being Joe Cairl from Imperial Dade. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. You guys are one of our valued chamber members, and we appreciate your partnership hosting our meetings. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and the company?
Sure. So Imperial Dade has been around since 1935, and most of the growth that we've experienced over those years has been through acquisition of local family-owned businesses. Namely, in this marketplace, the Dalco supply business was purchased back in 2021. They were around since 1959. So a lot of the business structure and a lot of the business acumen comes from a lot of these family-owned local businesses that we've continued to acquire and merge with over the years. I'm the general manager for the West Central Division, which covers Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Northern Illinois. And currently, we're in the process of navigating a recent merger that we had, which doubled the size of our overall company to now over 240 facilities in North America and over 13,000 employees. It's been a very exciting time for us.
It really is, and you kind of stole my thunder a little bit, and that was one of my questions, was the former name Dalco, is it a merger of two companies or just a name change to Imperial Dade?
So we merged, or Dalco was acquired by Imperial Dade, and we changed our name to Imperial Dade. But recently, Imperial Dade merged with Brady Plus, and we've formed our new name, which was actually released 2 weeks ago, Imperial Brady. Now one of the largest and most technologically advanced suppliers of JanSan supplies, janitorial and sanitation equipment and cleaning chemicals, food service packaging, and industrial packaging.
So who exactly are your customers? I was doing a little research online about the company and all the products and services that you said. Who do you really supply to?
We focus on any facility where people will work or visit. So we don't limit ourselves to any specific industry, although we find ourselves very strong in the public school business, in the public sector with state and government buildings. Healthcare facilities tend to rely on us quite a bit with a lot of their supplies that they need for PPE and cleaning supplies. And then, of course, when it comes to food service packaging, we service cafeterias, restaurants, and grocery stores predominantly in the market.
So each one of these divisions that you mentioned, how do they run? Independently? Would you consider Imperial Dade a one-stop shop for all of the products and services people may need for a company?
We can be a one-stop shop in those categories, the janitorial and sanitation supplies, the food service disposables, and the industrial packaging. We certainly have experts in all three of those categories that can answer questions for our customers, help them be successful, and help our employees be successful. But as far as how we operate, as we've continued to grow, we try to latch on to what our family-owned businesses do best in their markets, in their respective local markets, and really bring in those best practices into more of a national reach. So we're incorporating a lot of those skills and practices into our corporate-driven strategy for operations.
So you mentioned the areas that you cover and the different states that you cover. Imperial Dade is considered a national company. You're right here located in our footprint in New Brighton, one of our great cities, but you are considered a national company.
Yeah, we actually have representation in all of the U.S. states and in Canada and Puerto Rico. And as we continue to expand, the sky's the limit.
That's terrific. This is a really competitive space. As you know, there's a lot of other companies that do similar things, but how would you describe Imperial Dade as being above the competition or setting yourself apart?
As we continue to expand, like I said, we bring in best practices from all walks of our operations. I think one of the recent challenges we've seen a lot in is how our customer base has changed. moving towards wanting more sustainable solutions, eco-friendly solutions, but also trying to navigate the supply chain challenges and pricing pressures. So our supply chain team, we bring in some of these best practices, and obviously with our larger scale and scope that we have with these mergers, it allows us to put added pressure on our suppliers. It gives us better focus and forecasting. And so we're able to control our local inventories and move inventories throughout the regions to make sure that we're meeting the demands of our customers.
Sure, and being a green company is very important, obviously protecting the environment. Shout out to Biz Recycling, who we partner with as well, with the Chamber. And I mentioned that you guys host some of our meetings for the Chamber. I think this connection has a lot of synergy being a part of the Chamber. How would you describe to other business owners what the major benefit of belonging to the Chamber of Commerce and connecting Imperial Dade to the community?
You know, gaining that customer perspective and that local community perspective is challenging in this marketplace. There's so many different unique needs that our customers have, and the Chamber really gives us that opportunity to network with other businesses and other owners that allow us to have a better line of sight to what the local needs are. It helps us make employment decisions around how we better support our customers with different product lines and bringing in new and innovative ideas. But I think the representation of the Chamber also helps protect our position in the local community as new initiatives come out with the government, with the city or with the state. And the Chamber's there to help us navigate that and protect their members. So.
Well said, and that's exactly what we do. That's how the Chamber's supposed to work. We disseminate information to help our companies promote themselves and protect themselves. In a much more local basis, being a company based in New Brighton, why is it important for Imperial Dade to be part of the local community?
As we continue to grow, it's really easy, I think, in some cases, to lose focus of what is so important to our local communities when we start focusing at too high of a level within our organization. The nice thing about our organization is it does come from very deep family roots. And as we've continued to grow, we haven't lost perspective of where the rubber meets the road and what our customers need locally. So we feel like the challenges that we've had on a national level are really met by the answers that we find locally within our community. Customers that have local facilities inside the Twin Cities here typically meet a lot of the same challenges in other metro markets. And so we network within our own business very strategically to help everybody be successful across the country.
Absolutely, Joe. I mean, we really want to make sure all our companies stay on the cutting edge of information. Telling the folks at home, how can they get in touch with you and your team? The guys here at 9 North Media are going to put your information up on the screen, but what's your website? How can they get in touch with you guys?
So imperialdade.com is our website today. Obviously, there may be some changes with the Imperial Brady name change, but a lot of that, I'll let the IT folks figure out how we reroute websites and all that work. But 651-604-2966 is our local number, which can get you in charge or get you in contact with me, any one of our sales representatives, our customer service team, and certainly anyone in our operations.
So that's perfect for people getting in touch with you, whether you service individuals and companies?
Yeah, we do have a contingent of walk-in traffic where people will come in and purchase something for their local needs, their local business. Say a small local cleaner needs some additional supplies or chemicals for their own business. We do have a contingent of customers that do come in and utilize our local resources in New Brighton for that.
Terrific. And we really appreciate you being here today, Joe. Final thoughts. What would you like people to know about Imperial Dade, the way you operate, what sets you apart for your services and products? And, when people get in touch with you, they might be involved in a contract already. They might want you to review that contract for you to take over their business. What's the process about that?
You know, we have a team of very veteran supply chain experts in our company. Whether it's supplying to our inventory to meet the needs of our customers, or just our sales experts that are in the field have 20, 30 plus years of experience and have seen so many changes over the years.
Sure.
Landscapes, products, needs of local, the local businesses, environmental needs. All of these things, they spend all of their time every day learning about these needs and helping our customers find the best solutions for them so that they can have the cleanest facility possible, provide the best product to their customers as possible. Our focus is really providing a place for our employees to thrive and be happy, because that yields a much happier customer down the road as well. So it's really a two-prong approach in keeping our customers and our employees happy. And we're always looking for great talent. So whether that's in sales, customer service, warehouse operations, or transportation, we're always looking for that top talent out there to help bring us to the next level and continue to leverage all the resources that we have available to us.
So you mentioned your website. Do you have what would be considered a catalog of your products?
Certainly. We have over 400,000 items throughout our overall catalog. What we stock locally is a little more specific to our customer base here. But having access to those 240 warehouses across the country gives us an opportunity to really expand that opportunity for many of our customers with any product needs they have.
Terrific. Joe Cairl from Imperial Dade, we really appreciate you and Barbara, Imperial Dade, being a part of the chamber. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to the program. I'm glad that they put that up there. That's our golf tournament happening August 11th at Victory Links in Blaine. Open to the public, members and non-members. Come on out and network with some of the chamber members. We've got another great guest for you today, Kris Betker, who's owner of FastSigns of Roseville. Welcome, Kris.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Yeah, appreciate you being here. You're definitely one of our newest chamber members, and we appreciate you being involved and really involved immediately. Why don't you tell us about FastSigns of Roseville and what your role is?
Yeah, first, thanks again for having me, Mike. I am the newish owner at FastSigns in Roseville. So after about 25 years, the prior owners have moved on to their next chapter in life. And so as of November, I'm proud to be the new owner and involved here at FastSigns of Roseville. FastSigns in general, there's really two parts. We're a national brand with over 700 locations nationwide, as well as Canada, the UK, Australia. But each of those locations is individually owned and operated. So while we have that national support and brand support, we're also a small business here in Roseville, Minnesota, and that's a pride point for myself.
And that's what the Chamber's all about, promoting business and particularly local business. We love that. You have an interesting story. Why don't you tell us your connections to the previous owners, and you made a transition from another profession?
I did. I spent about 20 years in advertising and marketing, predominantly focused in the automotive space. And at the beginning of last year, I wanted to chart a new path, I guess we'll say. And so I explored a lot of different opportunities personally. This one made a lot of sense because it had that, marketing parallels that I was used to. And so, at the core, we've got all of our customers who have a problem, an opportunity, something that they want to improve their image of. And so within this FastSigns environment, we are all custom signage, visual communications. And so for me personally, there was a lot of parallels with my past experience and now here at FastSigns.
And we love, again, promote local, support local. For the folks visiting at home, being a new business owner, and what are some of the challenges that, even though it was an existing business, what are some of the challenges in terms of workforce, hiring employees? What do you deal with on a day-to-day basis?
I would say I've been very fortunate. Coming in with the existing staff and customer base has been beneficial for me, but those are things that you can't take for granted. And so, it's been my focus to make sure that our customers, that our team, are feeling, pride in what they're doing, happy with the environment. So I don't take that for granted in any way, shape, or form, because that's important. And especially in this day and age of AI and all the technological advancements, our people, our small little team there, are essential to being able to service our business and our customers.
You've definitely, I can vouch for that. You've got a great staff and great customer service. Your name alone denotes signage. But what other things do you guys offer? You do a whole lot more.
Yeah. FastSigns started as a single point 40 years ago, and at that time it was, yard signs and banners. And obviously the signage and visual communications has expanded significantly. And so while we still do a lot of those, talked about golf outings. We have a contingent that annually we've got their yard signs for their whole sponsors. But it's grown and it continues to grow. So yes, there are the more basic yard signs, banners. We do window, wall, door, floor vinyls. So when you walk into a place of business and their hours are on there. When we walked into the studios here, the frosted vinyl and perforated vinyl on their office space. We also do much larger projects in terms of monument signs, pylons. So you name it, you can see it with your eyes. We probably can help you out. I was kind of thinking of Joe when he was talking too. Some of the manufacturing plants that are out there. There's needs for safety, wayfinding signage. So that's been an exciting part for me personally. Just the breadth of the industries that we serve and what we can do for them. So it's been fun to get a call and say, let's brainstorm that. Let's kind of work through it, what your ultimate goal is, and try and figure out a plan together.
And I've worked with you before. You guys are amazing. I don't know how you keep track of everything that comes in, but for somebody that's really up against it and they've got a deadline, how much lead time do you need for an order?
Yeah,
I know it's a very general question.
It is, and I get it. We live, in a world right now of, immediate gratification. And there are certain things that if we've got print-ready files and we can get it done, trust me, we'll get it done. The devil's also in the details in terms of working through, and so we never want to rush through a project because that's when sometimes mistakes can happen. Generally speaking, and this varies during seasonality and throughout the year. Once we have an approved proof for something, we're about 3 days. But we have people come in all the time that need something quicker, and we do our best to get them taken care of.
And you did a great job doing all the signage for our Global Games event for the Chamber. We really appreciate that. I was amazed at the professionalism and the response time from both Kris and his employees. It must be challenging, but I guess that's what you guys do. You're getting all different types of requests, and people need it yesterday.
Yeah, and there's kind of three main parts to what we do. There's the idea from the customer, and they may have just a cloud of an idea, but then we need to help them with the design, or they provide the design. From there, we need to actually produce whatever it is, and then there's the installation part of it too. And so we help with all parts of that kind of process, from just an idea that they have to actually bringing it to life and then putting it in front of their customers, their staff, or whoever it may be.
Well said. So other than the global games for the Chamber, why don't you tell the folks at home what other kind of cool events that you guys have done?
We do a lot with the Rosedale Center right around the corner, and so think of when new stores are opening or transitioning, large window and wall graphics. We also work with a number of local schools. So a local law school recently needed some new dimensional lettering to identify for their students right before graduation, and so we were able to work with them to get that done. And so, yeah, it is a very cool process to see the end result, even for us. And so sometimes it's a small project, sometimes it's a large one, but they all are, unique and special.
And for those of you that don't know, Rosedale Mall is one of our beautiful malls right here in Roseville, right across the street, and it really does well, and I'm glad you're involved with them. They're also a chamber member. Kris, I mentioned since you joined us, you've really jumped right in. You've come to a lot of the events. You've networked with other chamber members. Why don't you describe what that means for you as a business owner and to have that collective wisdom of other chamber members that you can reach out to and make new connections with?
One of the fun parts for me personally is I was dedicated to a specific industry in my past career, and now the breadth of the businesses that we work with and that I get to meet with on a regular basis, runs the gamut from construction, healthcare, education, and so they all have their own needs, and that's been fun to be involved, to learn about their operations, to kind of troubleshoot and plan and work through. So it is just that in one way, shape, or form, every business needs some sort of visual communication and signage to accomplish something. And so being able to work with those various industries and businesses has been a lot of fun.
Terrific. Now the guys here at 9 North as well are going to put up your information on the graphic. How can folks get in touch with you and your team?
The easiest way is to send us an email. So 204, which is our store number, 204@fastsigns.com. My email is kris.betker@fastsigns.com. We're also located just off Snelling, so we welcome any walk-ins as well. And our phone number is 651-631-1631.
Terrific, and check out Fast Signs. They're right here, local, very close to Northwestern College here in Roseville. Final thoughts, and what I'm going to ask you the same question that I did with Joe. What sets you apart from the competition? Why should people give you a chance? What else would you like people to know about Fast Signs?
I'll lead with the fact that we are a small business here in Roseville, and so while we're here locally and we have an amazing team locally, we have that nationwide backing and support. So being part of the Fast Signs brand, guarantees the level of quality, reliability that we want to provide to all of our customers. One of the most rewarding things for me is sometimes seeing, Google reviews of people saying, "Hey, I worked with this specific person," and then when they walk in, that person is there. So that's a really cool, story. And we're going to be here for a long time. I know we do quality work. I appreciate all of our existing customers, and we'd love the opportunity to, help out prospective ones.
Absolutely. And if you need anything for your business, or even something for a family event, graduation you mentioned, birthdays, give Kris a call. Check it out, Fast Signs of Roseville. Thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate you. Hang out for a second. We're going to do some chamber announcements.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Kris. So a couple different things that we have coming up here in the month of June is our Business Connects resume. And all 4 of our areas will resume their Business Connects starting next week with our Columbia Heights and Fridley Business Connect on June 5th at the Columbia Heights City Hall. Members, feel free to come out. It's all part of your membership contained. We'll have some networking, some great speakers, and that's between 8 and 9 a.m. On June 17th is our Arden Hills Shoreview group. That's going to be at Flaherty's Arden Bowl. Flaherty's Bowl is another one of our great chamber members. We appreciate them. Then on June 18th is our Mounds View New Brighton group, and that will be at the Mounds View Event Center. We're going to try some different things this time. We're going to be doing a lot more networking. No speaker. We're going to be doing a structured networking group. where business owners can share their collective knowledge, their triumphs, their failures. Just everyone has a story to tell. It's really important to know that even as a new business owner, you can overcome things and still excel, and getting that collective wisdom and knowledge from other chamber members. It's really just kind of a raw discussion, really important. I think our chamber members will really enjoy that. Our next Members Connect is going to be a big one. On June 11th, we'll be at Running Aces Casino, Horse Track, and Hotel. Our chamber members will get a unique experience of taking a backstage pass, backstage tour of the horse track at Running Aces. Running Aces is also one of our great members. We're going to be taking a tour with Aaron Bedessum, GM at Running Aces, and then coming up and doing our networking portion of the Members Connect. Really great opportunity to have some fun, have a cocktail, meet your fellow chamber members, and just have a really great time. We've got different companies that are approaching us now to sponsor these events, and we couldn't be more excited about it. We mentioned our golf tournament on August 11th, and for all things chamber related, check out our website at twincitiesnorth.org. We appreciate you guys joining us this week. Thanks to Kris and thanks to Joe for being here, and we're going to see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us.